Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and happy Halloween to everyone. This is going to be my contest entry for the Horror Miser Monte G. He is doing a horror giveaway. I'm sorry this is so late. It's just been kind of crazy, hectic with the Halloween stuff and the 31 days. I mean, I'm sure you get it, being a horror fan. Um, but I did want to do this to show my support for your channel because I think you're awesome. And it was really cool that we actually got to meet your wife, Kelly, because I know she doesn't normally do videos. So I'm going to answer your questions here. Let's see. Question one is, of the Universal Monster movies, which one would you remake and how would you remake the film? The one that I would remake would be The Creature from the Black Lagoon because it's my favorite. Actually, my favorite is Revenge of the Creature, but I would kind of combine both into one film. And oddly enough, when The Shape of Water came out, I thought that, well, the first time I saw the trailer, I thought that that was going to be the Creature from the Black Lagoon movie. And I did love The Shape of Water. I thought it was a fantastic film. But yeah, I would make it definitely not over the top gory, but gorier, of course. Have the monster look a tad bit more realistic. I mean, it was in the 30s, so um, yeah. And like I said, I would take elements from the three stories actually, even though the second one is my favorite. So that's how I would do that. Um, Question number two. The movie studio wants you to start a horror franchise. What subgenre would you choose, and would you make it a trilogy? Um, I love slasher movies, so it would be slasher for me all the way. Would I make it a trilogy? I would probably want to, but I would see how it came out before I did that. Um, Reason why I'm saying that is some of my favorites are standalone movies like The Burning, My Bloody Valentine, and movies like that. Um, would I want to make it a trilogy? Sure. I would love to have that kind of popularity to make it an icon or to start a franchise, but yeah. Um, I kind of like the idea of the the movie, and then the second one being like almost like a prequel, and then the third one being a continuation of the first one, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of how I would do it, I think, if I had the choice. Question number three. You are a creature designer. I love creature features, by the way. I'm with you on that one. Um, I do. They're not my favorite, but I do love creature features. But you are a creature designer, creator. What kind of creature would you create? Would you make a bipedal or on all fours? Mine would be a little bit different. I know my original idea, I would want to see a water creature, not like creature from the Black Lagoon or like a water monster, something like that, but an actual creature that would be made out of water that could turn into any kind of substance. Until I realized that that's basically what the abyss was. So, yeah, that was basically my idea before I thought that, the abyss. But I would make it more, how do I explain this? I would make it more, all different types of shapes. It could, conform to any kind of sort of thing. So I just think a water creature would be really cool. And the thing I like about water creatures, it doesn't have to have tentacles or um, uh, like weapons or like spikes or anything like that. But the fact of water hitting you so hard, it's like concrete. So water can be very dangerous. So, not to mention drowning. So, but anyway, question number four. What is the state of horror, and where do you see it going in the future? Um, Horror is hot now. I've seen it go hot, then cold, then hot, and then cold. I think it's just a cycle. I remember when Scream came out, and all of a sudden the slasher movie was in again, and that was the rage for a while. They became popular. Of course, I'm 47, so um, I'm one of the elder statesmen, I guess, of YouTube. Not the oldest guy, but you know, I did grow up in the '80s, so I was there when it was so popular, when the slasher movies were so popular, and every other commercial was a horror movie, like a TV spot. But it seems to um, kind of ebb and flow. I also read comic books. Um, I started with The Walking Dead back when it first started, and was so excited. I'll never forget it. When they announced that they were doing the live action TV show, I was so excited. Most people didn't even know what it was. But in the comic book community, you knew what The Walking Dead was because it was extremely popular. So I just remember being so excited and thinking to myself, this is never going to work. Um, People don't care. People don't care about zombies. And then I started to think to myself, if they make it like the comic book and focus on the characters and not so much the gore and the zombies, then it actually has a chance. And that's exactly what they did. And I'm still surprised it caught on like it did, but I'm happy that it did because now we have lots of different horror films and zombie movies, and some good, some bad, but yeah. So try not to be too long-winded, or as Lisa Loves would say, prattling on, or yeah. Question number 5. Oh, the answer to question number 4 is, like I said, it ebbs and flows. It's going to get stale again, and then it's going to get popular again. It just kind of has that way about it. You're going to have it really popular sometimes, and just kind of popular sometimes. Kind of like The Sixth Sense. When that came out, horror was a little bit more popular. Or when Silence of the Lambs came out, it was a little bit more popular. But it seems like when The Walking Dead came out, it really started to come back. So, but anyway, that's my answer. Kind of ebbs and flows. Question number 5, which I thought was very interesting, and it was very cool to meet you, Kelly. um, you basically said the way my wife and I are. Um, I love horror, just like your husband. Um, my wife really doesn't like it. And how do we achieve balance? My wife is really cool. She will watch a lot of the horror with me, even though she doesn't really care for it. But I mean, we watch other stuff too. I mean, we watch stuff together like The Housewives and uh, like Below Deck and stuff like some of the Bravo shows, and I watch some of the comic book shows and stuff like that. But we do watch a lot of stuff together. Now, as far as going to the movies, how do we handle that? Um, I don't go see a lot of horror movies in the theaters, unfortunately. Um, it just is not. I did when I was younger, but not so much now. Um, I'll go to the movies with my cousin sometimes, and we go see some comic book movies and science fiction movies. And every once in a while, he'll want to see a horror movie. But generally speaking, my wife and I don't really go to many horror movies. She did go to see Halloween with me, which I thought was really cool of her. And she went to see Phantasm with me last week, so that was really cool too. But yeah, generally speaking, she doesn't really have a great love of them. Um, Actually, she doesn't really like horror at all, but she puts up with it. She puts up with me. What can I say? Um, but like I said, that's really cool. And you know, we also watch other types of movies too. We watch rom coms and stuff like that together and enjoy them. Usually, she's not exactly the best. I know she's awake right now, but she's not exactly the best at picking movies. So whenever we watch a romantic comedy or something like that, I normally will pick it because if she does, it ends up being not very good. But yeah, I guess I have a gift for that. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. Those are your answers. Um, thank you for being so generous, and I hope I'm not too late in recording this. But like I said, I did want to do it because I do love your channel, and I thought the questions were really quite interesting. So yeah. Until next time, peace.